Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Amanda, formerly Snowflake, and she set up another one of these Weebly sites to follow along to. So here we go. Excuse me. Some people just want to watch you burn. No, you cannot go live with your dad. I don't care if you'd be a stripper. I can't afford to lose child support. Or these? Oh, you scroll through these. Okay, I see. I don't care if he's a good father. I don't care if he pays my child support. I don't care if he loves my kids. I don't love him anymore, so he's not allowed to see my kids anymore. You're not my lawyer. I'm sorry, you're my lawyer, so you're on my side, and I want him to suffer. Have you ever witnessed a narcissistic, malicious, spiteful BMBF like this before, who keeps their children from the other parent for no good reason other than their own bitterness, hatefulness, and jealousy? It's a terrible thing to witness, and it should be punishable by law, in my opinion. Hello, my name is your mother, and I will be your tour guide for today's guilt trip. Mom, thanks for all the emotional manipulation and passive aggressiveness that has left me scarred for life. Real mothers don't alienate their kids from dad, make false allegations in court, use litigation as revenge, use support as primary income. Real mothers do work to support the kids equally, love their children regardless of a relationship with dad, share custody equally with loving dads. If by good person you mean, yeah, low life, lazy, deadbeat excuse for a mother, then you're a good person. Okay. My sister, who grew up with me under Sauron's roof, has been no contact with Sauron since January of 2018. She rarely speaks to my mom, not Sauron, and dad. She came over today just to grab her title to her car and left. She was here maybe 3 minutes. They hadn't seen her for a year, and I hadn't seen her since we had dinner with Sauron together back in January 2018. Her excuse for ghosting our parents is because she has fibromyalgia and she's in too much pain and too busy trying to get it taken care of. This really hurts our parents because they never get to see her unless she needs something. Yeah, because she's too far gone. I mean, she's only going to see anybody as someone to use. That's it. She's on the pity parade, and I think he said she's addicted, right? I have already accepted the fact that she will never be a sister to me. I'll never have that. I can't do anything about it, and honestly, it's safer for her to stay. It's safer for me to stay away from her. If you recall her diagnosis of being a sociopath with homicidal tendencies, as states in an earlier story. I purposely haven't shared my new number with her, not that she would speak to me anyways, but I kept my number from her to keep myself safe. Sauron has always been all about my sister, regardless if it was positive or negative. The topic of her was always priority. For this reason, it was sometimes easier for me to go to the bullshit events as long as my sister was going. Although they are very similar, there were also plenty of times where they gang up on me. Sauron put together a dinner on, I believe, January 2nd, 2018. My sister and I agreed to go together. We met at a Mexican restaurant. About a month or two prior, Sauron had sent both of us texts about taking care of her dog, who was 14 years old. My sister has a bunch of animals already, cats, a dog, and some reptiles. I have a dog who was an abused rescue. I pretty much adopted myself. I know it's been I pretty much adopted myself. I know it's been actually really positive for me, though. So Sauron asks us to take responsibility for basically taking care of Annie the dog until its end. Neither of us could take her due to the responsibilities we already had with our own animals. So fast forward back to this dinner, we order our food and everything's going well until all of a sudden Soren says, "Okay, girls, I have something I need to tell you." She proceeds to tell us that because we wouldn't take Annie, she had to put her down. Oh, fuck off, you bitch. It's your fault the dog is dead. So now she could try to hold that over there. I mean, this is why. Look, I understand your sister has issues, being homicidal and dangerous, but your mother's the reason why your sister's homicidal and dangerous. Because sometimes when you're broken by a narcissist, you're broken in ways that a lot of us don't get broken, like your sister. Your sister was broken into a homicidal sociopath. As she says this, she's looking at me eagerly, awaiting my reaction. This bitch has traumatized me with dogs. The first dog we had with Soren was with Soren and my dad a few years before they adopted me. The divorce happened and Soren kept the dog. She remarried. Abby, the first dog, got old and she was deaf and kind of blind. So if you wanted her, you had to look at her. I was probably 5.5 or 6 years old when I went looking for her one day. I couldn't find her no matter how hard I looked. I was really confused. I went inside and told my stepdad that I couldn't find Abby. We searched for her. The last place we looked was the doghouse my dad hand-built for her before the divorce. My stepdad lifted the roof of the doghouse as I stood on my tiptoes and looked inside. There was Abby, lying on her side, gone. That was extremely painful for me. She probably went to a place she was most comfortable and died on her own. I mean, that's sad. That's sad. When you let a dog, See, I always question somebody who lets an animal suffer and die to death. You know, if everything was fine, like sometimes dogs have heart attacks and like something sudden can happen like that. That's very rare. But like when you know a dog is getting old and it's suffering and it just dies like that, that's sad. When I went through abuse, I would go outside to Abby and bury my face in her fur. She was a golden cocker spaniel. After her, we had Sneakers, who was my sister's dog. He was a husky. She would teach him to attack me, so that was always a fun experience. Yeah, huskies are not easy dogs, and they can be very aggressive. My stepdad hated that dog so much. After school one day, my sister and I came home, and we were told that Sneakers ran away. They never tried to look for him. We knew he wasn't coming back. Then, when I was 8, there was Goldie, a golden lab. My stepdad hated her as well. We were either taking care of a dog named Buffy or we adopted her. Buffy was around for a week, then she was gone. See, and this is my whole point about being adopted like a pet, Amanda. You were the pet that they couldn't get rid of. Because they just adopt dogs, they don't like it, they're done with it, boom, get rid of it, it ran away. They couldn't get rid of you, and you wouldn't run away. She went back home. Goldie had a lot of energy, so after a while they adopted a black lab. I named her Ashley. Ashley, I swear, had some kind of anxiety disorder. I had to take care of her and was told that if she didn't learn to behave, they would have to get rid of her. I was desperate to get her to act like a regular dog. Everything happened while I was at school, taking my stuff, things disappearing, that CPS lady. Well, I walk home from 3rd grade and I walk down our street. As I get to the house, I notice that the gate to the backyard is wide open. I immediately start to panic. Oh my God, Goldie and Ashley might have gotten out. I break into a full-blown sprint to the door. I get inside and run to Sauron and frantically ask her why the gate is open. She's in the kitchen, hand washing dishes, even though we have a dishwasher, and she's washing. And as she's washing, I see her crack a smile. She slowly looks over at me, and no sense of worry or anything, she says, "Oh, we took Goldie and Ashley to a better home." I lose it. It's like what they wanted to do to you. It's like this constant torture through pets. Sauron starts saying again, "We didn't take them to the pound to be put down. We took them to a farm that's owned by the nicest older couple. They have a bunch of animals and tons of acres where Goldie and Ashley can run and play with their heart's content. You should be happy they're in a better place." Oh, they put them down. Oh, they put them down. I don't know the truth, but I remember saying in my head as an 8-year-old, "She killed them. They're dead." Of course they're dead. There are no... They always say, "Oh, I took them to a farm where they're running around." She put them down. And what she was trying to tell you is, "I'll put you down." Then a year later, Annie was adopted. I was extremely close to her as well, which is why I think Sauron put her down after asking me to take her. While we still had Annie, and after my sister moved back in with me and Sauron, before she was sent to the treatment facility for troubled teens, my sister adopted an American Eskimo who she named Yuki. After my sister was sent away, Sauron wanted to get rid of Yuki. I fought for Yuki. I knew my sister would be devastated if she came back and her dog was gone. I was able to stretch it for a year before my stepdad took me to sell Yuki to an elderly lady. I was 12 years old and I had a cell phone. I was pretty smart during this drive. I made sure to remember the route we took, and I typed the lady's house into my phone as a note. I made sure to memorize that address. A year later, when my sister got out of her treatment facility, I told her I knew the address of where Yuki was. We got in my sister's car, and we went to say our final goodbye. The lady was really nice, as was more than happy to allow this. That was hard for me, though. I felt like I had let my sister down for not being able to fight for Yuki to stay. I have huge dog PTSD now. I can't handle seeing a dog get hurt, regardless if it's real or in a movie. I can't handle it. It's because you're projecting yourself onto the animal. See, what you're doing is you're seeing, because you could never fight for yourself and because you were adopted and treated the exact same way as these pets, that PTSD you have is for yourself, and you are seeing yourself in these animals that are hurt. Okay? It's yourself that you have to focus on. It's your own pain and damage that you have to focus on, Amanda. You are projecting your pain and you are seeing it on these animals. It throws me into some intense semi-suicidal spiral. Sauron knows this, and I truly believe that's why she was watching me so intently while she told us how she put Annie down, because that was her way of trying to get you to put yourself down. I refused to speak to her, and then in April 2018, I got a series of text messages from her. That was the breaking point for me. That's when I went no contact until Twinkie Binky forced the contact to resume. Here's those text messages. Keep in mind the fact that she also used to dump us off on her mom, who died when I was 7.5. That's the grandma she's referring to. Sauron. What is wrong, honey? Why can't you text or call me? What can I do to assure you that I love you with all of my heart? I think Twinkie Binky is cute. Would you like to shop for things? I can come up to Salt Lake anytime. Do you want to be taken off our will? There's the will threat. Like, come on, man. There, they want to be taken off our will. Hello, my sweet daughter, Amanda. I don't know what is going on, but my love for you is unconditional. I would like to pay for your honeymoon if you will share wedding information with me. I am wondering if you want any of your Grandma Evelyn's jewelry. Grandma would want you to have it. However, if I don't hear from you, I will simply sell it. Grandma is very sad you're not talking to me. I thought you loved her. Oh, you dirty, dirty bitch. You dirty bitch. Oh, she is hard. She is an evil fucking sociopath. She is an evil sociopath. She sent some voicemails.
And I know you're busy, but I really need to hear from you. I'm down here alone, and I love my little girl, and I miss you like crazy. So give me a text or a call, and just know how much I love you. Bye-bye.
It's not manipulative.
Mom, and I really need to hear your voice. So please call me. I love you.
Ugh. The fake baby voice is atrocious.
This is your mom, and I want you to know how much I really, really love you. And I don't know.
Oh, the sing song. Always notice the sing song. And I'm sorry I didn't set up the audio file correctly for this, so there might be an echo.
What's going on? I accept you for whatever is going on, or that you've done, or that you will do, or anything. I love you with all my heart. I just want to know that you're well. And as you know, earlier I invited you to this evening at 5 o'clock at El Chihuahua. We'd love to meet Corbin and provide you with a free meal and just some fun. And I wanted you to know that Val is bringing her new boyfriend. She did divorce Jared, and she's bringing a new boyfriend. So there's quite a bit of newness going on at this event. And I don't want you to feel like you'd be at all out of place. Everybody loves you, so please come. If you need a ride there, please call me right away, and we'll be happy to come and get you guys. Thanks so much. Love you, love you. Bye-bye.
It's so phony. It's so phony. It's just so phony. They can't mask it. They can't hide their phoniness. They just can't. And what you got to understand here, what you're doing, Amanda, is you are you are projecting your own abuse onto these animals, and by doing that, you're not accepting. You're still not accepting. You are, but you're not fully accepting what has happened to you. It's easier for you to empathize with the animal being abused than it is for you to empathize with yourself. And what you need to do is empathize with yourself. So, and I'm gonna do part 2 of this right after this video. So it should be the next video to follow. I just want to change the audio settings, otherwise I would have made it one video. So this is part 1. So everybody get ready for part 2. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to you'd like to have a private video made, or you'd just like to make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.